Ladies and gentlemen, it is happening right now. The live monster event at Polar Peaks has already kicked off. I'm not going to waste any time. You have got to see this. Over the past few days right here on the channel, I've been keeping you guys up to date with all of the leaked information and news that we've had so far for this in-game event, which has started. This is only the beginning, but it is nuts. Look at this. Polar Peaks has a monster inside it, and the eye is actually there. This is the freakiest, if not the biggest thing we have ever seen. Going close to it, you can not only hear its heartbeat, what could you also hear the heartbeat of? The small eggs when they were in the dungeon of Polar Peaks, they had a small heartbeat. This thing is like 100 times louder. But the eye will constantly follow you. If you're close enough, if you leave it alone, it leaves you alone. But by far the creepiest thing is not this giant monster breathing, is not the snow falling off, is not the eye moving, but the sound it makes when it sees you. You ready for this? What? It's so scary. This thing is giant. Now, if you missed it in yesterday's video, we speculated about how a possible Godzilla new film crossover could link in with whatever giant creature is within Polar Peaks. But today we're going to be looking into the future even more and focusing on a very, very interesting theory which has been going around, backed up by several pieces of information, which links in this monster right here and this lake right here, and we all know what's in this lake, or at least what was in this lake. It was Greasy Grove. As we take a closer look at the brand new monster eye and also look deeper into the potential return of Greasy Grove. As I said in yesterday's video, the best thing you can do to help support the channel is simply spend 2 seconds giving the video a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, just click it down below. It really helps me out because we've got some juicy information to cover, and I know you're going to enjoy it. Jeez, that creature is huge. Now, leaving the creature alone for a second, we're going to focus on Greasy Grove, an area of the map which unfortunately was taken away from us as an OG landing spot ever since Season 7 began. However, the possibility of Greasy Grove returning, or at least being a new upgraded version of Greasy Grove, is more likely than ever for several reasons. Now, as we know, small areas of the leftover Greasy Grove can be explored with weapons hiding away and even chests hiding away in the frozen parts of the map, just standing there for us impossible to get. We, however, are actually going to be glitching into the ice itself and taking a closer look at the remains of Greasy Grove, because there's a giant secret that actually is directly underneath Greasy Grove right here, which gives us a very big clue as to why it could be returning. Now, jumping back to last season with all of the dig sites that popped up around the map, you may remember in my videos that we accurately predicted where every single of the dig site maps were going to appear before they even started. This was done through actual in-game glitches where people could go into the Fortnite map and go underneath the map and essentially locate what looked like small white cubes, but essentially allowed the Fortnite team to mark the area that would ultimately be changed into a dig site ahead of time. The interesting thing is, there was a white cube the whole time underneath the frozen area of Greasy Grove. That's right here, literally underneath the map, just about in this direction here, just on the opposite sides of these vending machines and that big electric box. If you look at this image here, you can clearly see the identical white cube that was used to mark out the dig sites last season, also set to mark out the frozen Greasy Grove. Well, what does that mean? It means that Fortnite are ready at any time to potentially completely change the landscape of Greasy Grove, potentially returning it to its OG form or turning it into a brand new updated Greasy Grove. And it gets interesting now for one big reason. How on earth could all of this return to the OG Greasy Grove? All the houses are here, the cars are here. All it needs to do is have something or someone basically free this giant amount of ice. Well, guess what's here, ladies and gentlemen? The monster has started to enter the map and is right next to Greasy Grove. And if it is of the scale and of the size of anything like Godzilla, of anything like a giant monster, and is ultimately freed from the huge icy mountain of Polar Peaks, it potentially could be the freedom breaker of Greasy Grove, ultimately freeing it and turning it back to its original state. However, at the moment all of this ice is getting in our way, we need to take a proper look underneath and see whether or not Greasy Grove is even in a state to return back to normal or not. And that is going to require a little bit of glitching. Okay, time for some glitching. I'm actually going to divert what I was initially going to do. We are going to glitch into Greasy Grove, but for the moment, why not glitch into the monster eye? Oh my! The monster eye itself. Jeez. Okay, that's just really, really creepy. Can we see anything else that's behind here? Jeez. Oh, there you go. There's a proof of another in-game event guaranteed to happen here, obviously, with another white cube, this time found behind the eye itself. So that just proves to you that the white cubes are an indicator of map changes, in-game events, and we've got one right here, which is going to lead beautifully, thank you, I, for letting me check you out, into Greasy Grove. I'm going to be honest with you right now, I actually don't quite know how I managed to get under the whole of the entire map, and I don't know how long it's going to let me stay here, but we're going to use it to our advantage whilst we're here, guys. That didn't last long. It clearly doesn't want us to get close to Greasy. It knows the secret's there. Okay, so here we are, except I am able to go through walls and actually look on the other side. You ready for this? Oh, boy. We've never had the ability to get such a clean look behind the wall. You can see the roads there, the cars there, the fishes there. Now, I can't go too far from the edge, otherwise it will kill me. Oh, this is nuts. I've always wanted to go on the other side before. We can definitely see that the whole of OG Greasy is not quite here, but one of the biggest unanswered questions that has got people thinking for ages, why is it even there? Are these vending machines? They're clearly working vending machines, and they're outside the icy part of Greasy. The thing that makes me think that we're never going to be able to access them is the very obvious point that there is vaulted items in there. In fact, they're almost all vaulted items. The 6-shooter, the silent scar, the bouncer, the crossbow, you name it, we should not be accessing these vending machines. They're meant to be out of reach, guys. However, if we continue our way around, we continue the glitch. We can see, obviously there should be houses there. There's only the top of the house there. So despite the fact that we're underground, they've not put the whole of a house underneath the ice portion of Greasy Grove. Those things are obviously meant to be floating, but we can't actually see the ice. You know what? One thing I've always wanted to do, this damn chest. You can never get to it. Hey, I finally opened it up. We did it. We glitched through the ice and got to the chest. Now, one thing you can do, and it's very, very hard to do, is actually glitch under just a little bit. There it is. See that, ladies and gentlemen? This may get me killed. You see that right there? I'm going to try and get closer. But that right there, you recognize it? Is the exact same white cube that was under all of the dig sites before they went ahead and turned into dig sites. It is literally behind the monster eye. I've just shown it to you guys. And it's literally here underneath the frozen part of Dusty. I've proven to you that there is in-game evidence ready to alter this part of the map. And goodness knows what's going to come next after the massive eye. If it is a giant monster, if it does change the map, then Greasy Grove is probably going to be the first place to either return or come back as a completely new Greasy Grove V2. Give me that bouncer. No! We reached the death barrier. Ladies and gentlemen, we have glitched and weaved and dodged our way into parts of the map that we should not be able to go to. But, as always, I'm keeping you guys up to date with absolutely everything that is going on here on the channel. And this thing right here is only going to get bigger, crazier, and have more goings on as the season continues. Let's not forget that actual map changes to Polar Peaks and map changes to Greasy Grove are highly, highly likely. If you want to see everything first, this is the place to be. Hit that subscribe button. As I said at the video, if you haven't done so already, the best thing you can do to support these videos is hit the like button as well. So let's hit it. Let's get this video out there. Greasy Grove, Polar Peaks Eye, Big changes are coming, and the people need to know. You can check out more videos on the screen here. You can also check out my plays for every single one of my Fortnite videos I've ever made down below in the description. Thank you for watching. Can't wait to see what happens next. I'll see you guys tomorrow, right here on the channel.